finding a soulmate, finding that person who you feel like will be able to help you elevate to that next level, and vice versa, you'll be able to do the same thing for them, is awesome. But it can be terrifying. And I'm here to let you know I'm on that terrifying journey with you. But I, first and foremost, made sure that I was at a place, singly, at a place where I was abundant in love with myself. And I got there, and I'm here now, and I love so much of me, all of me, fully me, you know? And now I'm able to receive that love in turn and give that abundance of love to somebody else. While I'm on this journey of discovering who my soulmate is, where that person may or may not be, there are two things that I really would like the person who I am pursuing a relationship with to do with me. And that is take the personality test, which has showed me so much of myself. I've taken it twice already within this year, and I see how I am becoming just a more balanced version of myself that I was told I was in the beginning of the year. And I would like for my partner to want to know those things about himself and to want to become the most balanced version of himself, because that's when you're able to communicate the best that you can, when you're balanced, when you are one with self, when you are truly here. The other test I want to have him take is the 5 love languages test, because I really truly do believe it is important for people to understand how they receive and how they give love. And maybe he doesn't need to take the test for these things. Maybe we could just talk about it. But these are fun ways I feel like other people can get engaged and like do things with each other. And if those type of tests are something that you're interested in, but your partner's not interested in those type of things, that could possibly be a sign of you guys not really being the full soulmate you want to be, but maybe being really good friends, or maybe not being ready for each other right now in this space, in this time, which does happen as well. So I'll have them do those 2 things, and we can just see where things happen. For me, my love language is words of affirmation and quality time. Simple, real simple. And you can go ahead and start to discover these things through these different tests, but also through doing things. When you guys are trying to figure out and discover who you are to one another, it is super important. It is imperative that you guys go and do things in a neutral spot that neither one of you guys have been to before. Open yourself up both to new experiences at the same time, so then you can genuinely see how the other interacts in that space and in that time. Maybe you guys both hate it. Maybe you guys both love it. Maybe somebody loves it and someone's like, oh, I'm on the fence. Maybe you're pulling, someone aside into your life, into, your style, into what you believe, into what you've been exposed to. Because relationships are that as well. You're agreeing to go into something with somebody who has a life attached to them. They have cousins, mom, dad, brother, sister, niece, nephew, aunts and uncles. They've had experiences. They've done that. They've been living, and they will continue living from the moment you guys meet onwards. What you need to do is really check in and zone in on this one person and say, hey, are you ready for this? Because that's what it's all about. There's all of this around me and what I'm trying to take care of. I have a big family on one side of my family. All that I'm trying to bring to this higher mindset level with me. Is my partner ready for that journey? Because that's where I'm going with it. All of the experiences, all of the things that I've learned, that I've acquired, that I am still learning today, I'm giving that same knowledge back to my family, because that's my social structure back there. They already exist. I got to elevate us. But it began with elevating me, and now that we're here together, how do we elevate all of the people in both of our communities of people, in your home, in my home, in our home. How do we begin to do that? Well, the fourth step or third step, may seem a little awkward when it comes to that, but it's really having that conversation, that sit down, that, hey, let's talk about this. Let me tell you some things from my past. Let me tell you some things for my future. Vice versa. Doing both of those things. Well, why did that happen this way? Really gaining real understanding. And if that's not the reality, what they're telling you, if that's not the reality that they want to continue to be living in, seeing if that's a reality you can help them elevate out of. That is the key to the sustainability of the relationship. Being able to deal with those touchy topics, those tricky subjects, that can possibly leave someone feeling hurt. And not hurt because it's wrong, but hurt because they've never heard someone speak to them in that way, with that truth. And that's okay. But if you're that person that's feeling hurt, it's up to you then to decide, am I hurt because someone pointed out a truth? Or am I hurt because I'm not ready to move to this next level with this person who has identified a truth of mine and shows the ability and capabilities of getting me out of this nasty state that I've been stuck in, and moving me and propelling us into the greatest state that we can be in. Am I ready for that? Are you ready for that? Relationships, they take time, work, dedication, and they are always evolving, just as you are always evolving in this lifetime. I have an aunt and uncle that have been married for, I want to say, 40 years now. They always tell me the first 5 years were like horrible. The first 10 were like, But after that year 10, they became best friends again. And when they became best friends again, everything else was grand. In the beginning, we are putting on the projections of everybody else onto our relationship, the expectations of everybody else onto our relationship, fighting for what we know and want to be true to us, our egos, building up that self-esteem that we've created as an individual on this planet. But sometimes, and not only sometimes, all the time actually, all of the time, you need to drop that ego. Because if we were meant to live alone, we'd all have our own planets. Sustaining them, growing our little plants, eating food, drinking water, working out, living life, right? Because we wouldn't care about anybody else's opinions because there wouldn't be any others. But that moment you decide to engage with somebody else, you have to care. You've actively decided to care. You've actually decided to use why we're here for in the first place, to exercise how much you're willing to give somebody else just for the sake of giving, which I know seems like a foreign concept to many, but just in the forms of giving, what is it that you are able to, what is it that you are willing to, and what is it that you are comfortable with giving selflessly in this relationship, including more than just you, including us.